Hi everyone, my name is Morgan Schumann. I'm the Rentervention Staff Attorney for Lawyers Committee for Better Housing. Rentervention is an online resource that's designed to help you learn more about your legal rights as a Chicago renter and can even connect you with a volunteer attorney. Here are the top 5 questions we've been getting from Chicago tenants that are having a difficult time given the coronavirus crisis. Please be aware, the advice in this video is specific to Chicago tenants who pay market rate for rent and do not have a housing subsidy. If you have a housing subsidy or if you live in public housing and you need assistance at this time, we recommend that you reach out to Legal Aid Chicago. The first thing tenants want to know is rent still due? Unfortunately for Chicago renters, there is no rent forgiveness. Unless you've reached a different agreement with your landlord, the rent continues to be due. And that's true even if you've lost your job, had your hours cut, had to stay home to take care of your kids, or even to deal with a medical issue. The second question we've been getting is really a follow-up to the first one. I can't pay rent, so what are my options? If you're in the unfortunate situation where you can't pay rent, here's what I'd recommend. The first thing is to talk to your landlord right away. Before you reach out, have in mind what it is that you want to ask for. For example, you could consider asking your landlord to waive payments, asking them to agree to accept your payment late, or even spread it out over the course of several months. If you're worried that your landlord plans to file an eviction case against you, I would strongly suggest speaking with an attorney. If you aren't able to come to a deal with your landlord, here are some coronavirus-specific protections that you have. Your protection from eviction at the state level is that Governor Pritzker issued an executive order in late April prohibiting landlords from filing an eviction case against you for non-payment of rent through at least May 29th. The Federal CARES Act offers the broadest protections for tenants. The CARES Act will protect you if you live in a building with a mortgage that is federally backed, like by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. If you live in a building that's covered by the CARES Act, your landlord is prohibited from giving you an eviction notice, filing an eviction case, or even charging you a late fee until July 25th of 2020. Understanding whether or not you're covered by the CARES Act can be tricky, so if you're confused about that, I would recommend that you speak with an attorney. You can go to rentervention.com to get more information. If you were in eviction court before the coronavirus situation happened, there's a chance that an eviction order was entered against you at that point, and you're wondering whether or not the sheriff can come out to actually remove you from your home. The good news is that tenants that had eviction orders entered against them are not currently being enforced by the sheriff during the course of the stay-at-home order. The third question tenants are asking is, can my landlord demand access to the unit? And this can be for one of 2 reasons. First, the landlord might want to come in order to show the apartment to a prospective tenant. In that case, the answer is clear-cut. They are not allowed to enter for that purpose. The Department of Commerce has specifically indicated that showings of occupied residential apartments are prohibited under the stay-at-home order. The second reason a landlord might want to come in is to make a repair. If your landlord wants to come in to make repairs, then you have to think about whether or not the repair is essential. If it's an emergency situation, you have to allow your landlord to come in. But on the other hand, if the repair can wait, you can ask your landlord to hold off until after the public health crisis is over. One caveat to that is if you were the one that specifically demanded that your landlord make the repair. In that case, it would be unreasonable if you then prohibited them from entering your apartment to make the fix. The fourth question we've been getting is, am I allowed to move during the stay-at-home order? And the answer to this is yes, you are, but it might be a little difficult. Under Governor Pritzker's stay-at-home order, moving is considered an essential service. That means that it is allowable for you to move yourself, for you to have family and friends help you move, or for you to hire professional movers, unless you already know where you're planning on moving. It's worth noting that you might have a more difficult time finding a place. Remember that landlords aren't allowed to show occupied units right now, so it might be tough to find another apartment if you don't already have one lined up. The fifth question tenants have been asking, am I required to disclose my health status or employment status to my landlord? You are never required to share your health or employment status with your landlord. However, you may choose to disclose this information if you think that it would help you with negotiating a deal around payments during this COVID crisis. I hope this video has been helpful to you during this very stressful time. Today is May 8th, but the law is changing quickly. To stay up to date on current developments and to learn more about how the law applies in your specific situation, I recommend that you go to rentervention.com.